I don't know what it is with wrestling fans. I really don't. It is like we are the most ADD slash ADHD people out there on the planet, or most bipolar people out there on the planet. Because it's like we want something, but then we don't want something. We really want something, but then we really don't want something. We like a superstar, but then we really don't like a superstar. It's like the wrestling fans, we don't know what the hell we want. That's just how it is at the end of the day. That's just how I always view it. Because whenever I see wrestlers saying, "Oh, we want this wrestler," or "We want this, we want that," then it's just like I just kind of ignore it, because then I'm like, why? Because so that way you can bitch about it 4 months later of how terrible of an idea it was, and people like me were saying it was going to be a terrible idea, but you didn't listen because you think it would have been best for business. Look, I understand WWE is trying to do anything to inject excitement and interest into this current product. Let's face it. Yes, it's cool that Shane's back. Yes, it's cool Rock is going to be at WrestleMania 32. Yes, it's cool that we're living the Attitude Era a little bit because Triple H is our World Heavyweight Champion. All that stuff is cool. But let's be fucking real here. The product sucks. It just does. It's not entertaining. It's not interesting whatsoever. There's only some key elements that are entertaining and interesting in the WWE. And one thing that won't make it entertaining or interesting is bringing back a flippin' brand split. Oh my god. I don't know how many people I have seen saying how much they would love this idea. I don't know how many people I have seen talk about this idea way too much in videos. I don't know how many dirt sheet reports I have seen saying WWE will do this brand split. And I'm saying to myself, no, no, and no. No, a brand split is a terrible idea for a WWE right now. They don't need a brand split. They need to get rid of a brand. They don't need to try to make SmackDown worth the while. They need to get rid of SmackDown. Raw is already taxating enough. That's 3 hours of crap that I have to go through. 2 hours of crap of SmackDown is way too much for me. Then you have to add in an hour of NXT, and then if you're really hardcore about it, you go down to superstars and main event, and that's pushing it right there. And especially if you're someone who watches other promotions, then you go 2 hours of TNA, an hour of Lucha Underground. Heck, I don't know how long ROH shows their TV show for, but I'm pretty sure it's an hour. So you go an hour of Ring of Honor, and then maybe, just maybe, I don't know how long New Japan does their show for, maybe 30 minutes or an hour of New Japan. So add that all up. That's like almost like what? 14 hours a week of wrestling that you're investing yourself into. Golly. Hell no. I mean, honestly, if you really, really, really want to do some type of a brand split, just put NXT on the USA Network. Just do that. Honestly, that is your best course of action, is just to put NXT on the USA Network instead of trying to revive SmackDown and make SmackDown such a big deal again. Because in all honesty, no matter what you do to SmackDown, it's not going to get better. It just isn't going to get better. And doing a brand split won't make it better because, let's face it, the roster that they currently have right now, they don't have enough wrestlers to really do a brand split. And really, to be honest, if you're going to be honest with yourself, you know Raw is going to be top heavy. They're going to have all the dudes on Raw. The Reigns', the Ambroses, the Cena's, the freaking Seth Rollins, the Randy Ortons, and stuff like that. They'll have all those dudes on Raw. So what? So I can watch SmackDown just to see my once in a while AJ Styles match? So I can watch, like, I don't know, Kevin Owens do whatever the fuck Kevin Owens does. He's a prize fighter. So I can watch the Social Outcast freaking blow up my head even more. No. No. The roster is way too thin nowadays for them to even do a brand split. Like, we complain about how they have, like, so many of the same matches every week just on Monday Night Raw and just on SmackDown and Raw, or how they copy-paste matches from SmackDown onto Raw. Just imagine Raw every week. It would be like the same matches every single flipping week. It would be. It's just that this roster is not big enough to have it where you can do a brand split. It's just not big enough. There's not enough interesting characters or wrestlers to make you care if they did split the brand. Let's just be real here. Just call it how we see it. It is. It's like, honestly, half the wrestlers that if you were to show a casual human being, I'm not talking about your hardcore freaking wrestling fans that respect the in-ring work and all that crap. Show your casual fans some pictures of some of these freaking wrestlers. They will look at them and say, how do you like this shit? I've done this. I've done this with so many of my friends where I'm like, oh yeah, you want to see the current WWE champion when Roman Reigns is champ? I showed them Roman Reigns. They go, yeah, that dude looks like a badass. Then I show them pictures of Finn Balor wearing a stupid makeup, and then they're like, oh my god, what the fuck is that? As much as us as hardcore fans, we think sometimes weird and nerdy stuff is cool, casual fans, they don't think like we do. They just don't. So if you show pictures of some of the wrestlers to some of your casual friends, and I'm saying to your casual friends, not to your freaking hardcore fans, not to your casual friend who watches wrestling. I'm talking about a friend who has no idea what's going on with WWE. The only knowledge he has of WWE is maybe that his dad used to watch it, or he knows who Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, Rock, and Sting are. I'm talking about those people. Those guys, those Bamas. Not the motherfuckers that watch Raw and SmackDown every week and they believe in baby faces and heels. Not the motherfuckers that know a little bit about wrestling, but I'm talking about casual ass people down the street, because it's all about image. It's all about image if you want to try to get a product, brand, or entertainment out there. That's just the bottom line when it comes down to it. Like, don't get me wrong. I think most of these wrestlers look cool to me, but then again, I'm in the hardcore kind of demographic when it comes to wrestling fans. To a casual fan, they think they are goopy as hell. And if you're trying to tell me that you could sell a Smackdown brand with an AJ Styles, who, let's face it, I love AJ Styles. Everyone should know I'm an AJ Styles fan. But with that emo-ass haircut, that ugly-ass beard that I'm rocking right now, no way. With a Kevin Owens, oh, please. You really think a Kevin Owens could help sell a Smackdown if he's all freaking walking out there showing his gut and everything like that? And there's no other stars to really cheer for. It's just like AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, maybe a Chris Jericho when he comes back every once in a blue moon, maybe a Neville, like a League of Nations heel faction on that brand, like a New Day because they fit blue or someone. You know what I'm saying? Do you really think WWE would say, you know what? Let's put Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose on SmackDown? Hell fucking no. You would know those guys. Like, if they did put them on SmackDown, it would be when the brand split is really, really bad, and they realize, oh shit, we fucked up with this idea. Let's send one of the Shield guys over there. Maybe they can help save this crap. And that guy would just be the top guy of SmackDown. But then again, everyone would be like, yeah, well, he gets a top guy experience, but he's getting experience with guys that, let's face it, minus the guys like AJ Styles and Kevin Owens that I named, who else would he be feuding with? Dolph Ziggler? Oh, that's a feud I want to see. Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. Oh. I think the only person that would benefit from SmackDown, in all honesty, is Bray Wyatt, because we don't have to hear him talk as much. That's the only person, when I was thinking about the brand split, who would benefit from having a brand split on the shows. And I was thinking about it, and I said, Bray Wyatt. And the reason being is, he doesn't have to talk on both shows. He can only talk on one show now. It would actually make Bray Wyatt feel fresh and unique. That was the only dude that I could think of. And really, to be honest here, I just think a brand split is just a waste of time. And then people are like, well, Chase, think about it. They'll just bring up NXT guys on SmackDown. Wouldn't that be a cool idea? Have NXT guys wrestle on SmackDown? Why? I mean, seriously, let's just be real here. Why? If you want to bring the NXT guys to SmackDown, just put NXT there. You don't need to bring them up, because here's what I'm saying. If you have, let's say, for example, Samoa Joe versus Heath Slater on SmackDown, because you're featuring NXT talents, right? So Samoa Joe is considered an NXT talent. And you have Samoa Joe just come out there and beat the fuck out of Heath Slater, who's been on the WWE roster since like 2010. You're trying to tell me that Samoa Joe's dumbass is stuck in NXT while Heath Slater is on the main roster of SmackDown? Like, why am I not seeing Samoa Joe every week on Thursday Night SmackDown? Why am I seeing Heath Slater every week with the Social Outcast when I could see Samoa Joe every week? That's what I'm saying. If you have your NXT guys come out, they're just going to beat the jobbers of the WWE, and then it makes you question, why do the jobbers have their jobs? Why are these guys even here? Why is there even a developmental brand if these guys can go up? And not only that, the Performance Center, yes, they have a shit ton of wrestlers. NXT has a shit ton of wrestlers underneath the roster. But if you were to take some of these NXT guys off of NXT right now, if you took away Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Nakamura, who they just signed, Sami Zayn, Gable and Jordan, the Vaudevillains, and a bunch of other dudes. Like, so pretty much, if you took away the main core of NXT, which is Balor, Atami, Joe, well, Atami's injured, but you get the idea. Atami, Joe, Corbin, Sami Zayn. You took away those 5 guys, right? Who the fuck are going to replace those guys to make NXT somewhat entertaining? Let's be real here. Let's be real. If you took away some of the main core dudes from NXT just to fill up for SmackDown's sake, who would make NXT entertaining? Who would provide the entertainment to make you watch NXT every single week? There's not a lot of guys who can be NXT TV ready. The Performance Center has a bunch of dudes, but a bunch of those dudes are not ready for TV. They're just not ready for TV whatsoever. They're ready for a Baron Corbin squash match for sure. They're ready for an enhancement match against the NXT champion for sure, but they're not ready to be the guys to carry the load of that NXT banner. And it will just hurt NXT even more if you have these guys get picked off and they go to SmackDown and they're wrestling on SmackDown more, because then it's like, why should I watch NXT? Why should I even be subscribed to the network? Because part of it, like some people, their belief is why they're subscribed to the network is NXT. Me, I'm subscribed to the network because the pay-per-views and the past content, blah, blah, blah. If WWE took away all the past content, you could say goodbye to me as a WWE Network subscriber. That's just the truth when it comes down to it. I'll say, nope, not anymore. It's not worth $9.99 to me. I don't even think these pay-per-views are worth $9.99. I'll watch them for free on stream. I don't care how crappy the quality is. I'd rather watch that on stream than watch nothing at all. So the reason why I have the network is just all the great content you get from the past. Well, say for someone who is different than me, the main reason why they have the network is to have NXT. There's people like that. There's people who have the network for their own particular reasons. Not everyone has the network just for, the past content and all the stuff you can stream and stuff like that. Some people just have the network for the little network original shows, NXT, the pay-per-views every month. I know fuckers that just keep their network because they're like, hey, I just want to watch WrestleMania every year. I know people who do that. They pay over, let's say 12 times 9, $98 a month just to watch WrestleMania once a year. So you know what? More power to them, I guess. But no. The thing is, if you took away those guys from NXT, and then later on, someone who subscribed to the network just for NXT's sake, it's just like, what the fuck? It's like you're taking away all those guys just to put them on Smackdown, and then it's just like these guys that are trying to replace them are not going to be as entertaining. Like Apollo Crews, if he was like the only dude left on that roster by himself, he can only smile and say, yeah, for so long before you just start getting sick and tired of him beating up all these other jabronis that he's facing on NXT. Like, for real, if you took away some of the main core guys of NXT and then you put them on SmackDown, oh man, NXT would suffer. They just don't have enough TV-ready guys. I don't think the brand split is a good idea whatsoever right now for the WWE. If they had a much bigger roster where it's like, oh man, every week they can't get a certain guy on the show. Oh man, this guy is really lost in the shuffle, not really getting a major storyline. Like, if they had that type of problem where it was just really, 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 like they were like really, really talented throughout all the boards, where it's just like, this guy can be a great undercarder, this guy can be a good mid-carder, this guy's a good main eventer, then yes. But really, to be honest, in the WWE structure, what I see right now are just somewhat main eventers and Reigns, Ambrose, and Rollins, somewhat upper mid-carders, and the rest of the fucking roster. Then you have those who give a fuck guys. They're not even lower mid-card jobbers that you love. Like the Crash Hollies and the Val Venuses of the world. They're not even on that level. They're just like, who gives a fuck about these guys? And there's way too many of those guys to freaking name. Hell, some of these lower mid-carder guys that you don't even give a fuck about are former world champions. See Del Rio, see Sheamus. Do you really want me to say that, oh yeah, that if they brought a SmackDown brand, it would help Del Rio and Sheamus? No, it wouldn't. Make us sick of them even more because we would see them wrestle in a tag team match every freaking week that we don't want to watch. Why would I sit here and try to watch that and say, oh, this is great. It's a brand split. No. Don't support the brand split. It's going to be bad. And if it does happen and it turns out good for a little bit, don't try to tell me to say, I told you so, Chase. I told you, because no. You got to wait and see. Because the WWE, they know how to do this to you folks. They know how to pull out your heartstrings to make you believe shit's good And then afterwards, they tug that fucking heart out, leaving dead beat as his blood on the floor, beating still alive, and crush it. They're just going to crush it, and then sooner or later, once the summertime hits or August, you're going to be like, yeah, Chase, the brand split sucks. So I'm just saying right now, overall, I don't care if it ends up being good. I don't care if it ends up being terrible like I think it is. I think the brand split right now is terrible for the WWE. Avoid it at all costs. If you want to do it, where if you keep Shane around for a while, you have a team Shane and you have a team Vince, sure, I'll take that split because at least I'll go on through the two shows. But if you really want to have some type of brand split or brand wars or whatever, WWE, get rid of Smackdown. I know it's going to hurt, but if NXT is so big, like people claim it to be, so impactful, so awesome, I'm pretty sure it will do fine on the USA Network. I'm pretty sure people will watch it because apparently NXT is the greatest thing of all time, according to a lot of the hardcore fans. I'm pretty sure if they love that show so much, it could replace SmackDown. Just being real here. But what are your guys' thoughts on the brand split? Comment down below your thoughts. Or do you think it's ridiculous you're hearing these rumors? Because I do. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. If you guys like this video, hit that subscribe button down below for more pro wrestling videos. Give this video a big old thumbs up. I'll see you all next time. Enjoy your day. Peace!